With how popular fentanyl has become on the streets, thousands of families across the U.S. are losing loved ones to this incredibly dangerous drug. Tonight, in part 2 of our special report, Fentanyl, the crisis at home, Kim Vickers takes a look at how this war is being fought locally.
The fentanyl crisis across the U.S. continues to get worse as the drug becomes more popular. But those I spoke with say there's hope. Rehab centers, medical researchers, and lawmakers are working to help get the crisis under control.
The Access One Center is a substance use treatment facility. We offer treatment services, prevention, wraparound services. We have peer support. We offer medication-assisted treatment services. We do referrals to outside resources.
Kathy Witherspoon is Deputy Director of the Access One Center of Barnwell. She tells me that fentanyl is a major problem, even in rural areas.
We see as much probably fentanyl addiction, opioid addiction, as we do anything else. And we see a lot of fentanyl laced with other things.
The center does more than just treat addiction. It offers prevention and education services, including Narcan distribution, along with training on how to use it. Courtney Barwick is a peer support specialist at Access One. She tells me it took going to jail for selling fentanyl and almost losing her children to finally seek help.
It's my first time ever being in trouble. I had 9 charges, and they were all drug related. I was so scared. Luckily, I had people beside me there supporting me, pushing me to do, like, this isn't you, you could do better.
She says that for some, it helps more to talk to someone who's been through the same thing.
Like our sessions that I do with my clients, the first one is let's get to know each other. Because the more you know about me, the more comfortable you'll be and know that I'm a normal person, I'm human. I went through some things. So if they're going through a DSS case, I can say, oh, I've been through 3 of them.
Now, Courtney has her family back and is working to help others get their lives back, too. Rehab centers like Access One use medications to help people detox from fentanyl. But 2 researchers at Augusta University say many of those medications are addictive, too. Dr. Babak Baban and Dr. Philip Wang have discovered a new way to treat fentanyl addiction through CBD-based therapy. They say that the current treatment is to treat the symptoms of addiction and not the cause.
So all these models we are trying has one common denominator, which is inflammation. And addiction is one of those. Addiction is a disease. So one of the main problems, what we think, is inflammation in the addiction, which hasn't been studied.
Dr. Baban and Dr. Wang have been studying the effect of CBD on neural inflammation using mice. So here is how their study works. The mice were each put in a cube with 2 chambers and then allowed to move around freely. Then they gave each of the mice the drug in the chamber that they liked the least. The mouse who was only given fentanyl stayed in its environment and displayed stress symptoms. The mouse who was treated with CBD moved between both chambers and was more relaxed. Their findings were that an inhaled CBD treatment could more safely and more cheaply treat people for fentanyl addiction. They're hoping that soon they'll be able to take the next steps to make the treatment available to people.
So we have very comprehensive study on them, and we know the result over years. We also know how it may affect the nervous system and inflammation. So all of this work to our favor to promote the transition from the preclinical use to a clinical use.
Lawmakers on the federal and state levels are also fighting the war against fentanyl. In 2023, South Carolina lawmakers made it a felony to traffic fentanyl, increasing penalties if they're caught. And this year in Georgia, Austin's law was signed, targeting fentanyl dealers who sold the drug to someone who died from an overdose.
The law was on the books that that person would be charged with involuntary manslaughter and they could get 1 to 10 years. But what we decided to do was, if it's fentanyl specific, then actually that penalty would go up. And now it actually goes, I believe, to 10 to 20 years, 10 to 30 years, I believe. So that's a big difference. And so we're actually targeting now those people who give fentanyl to people, as part of a controlled substance.
While there's no one-size-fits-all solution to the fentanyl crisis, it's clear those trying to put a stop to it aren't giving up anytime soon. For more information on fentanyl addiction or how to get help, go on over to WJBF.com. Kim Vickers, WJBF News Channel 6.